Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1968 Renault 4L Export. Now this has 668 horsepower, 682 pounds-feet of torque from a 2 litre turbocharged inline 4 engine. It now weighs 1,194 pounds, has all-wheel drive, off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.219 seconds, 0 to 100 in 6.133 seconds, and going to a top speed of 158 miles an hour. So yeah, you could probably consider this the first silly car that we've had on this series, as yeah, that is a ludicrous amount of extra power for a car that only had 27 horsepower originally. And yeah, it's also now got a 7-speed gearbox. I've locked off the front bumper and rear bumper to save weight even further, and yeah, let's see what it can do really. Obviously controllability is a must on this series compared to, well, yeah, the last series on Forza Horizon 4 was also about controllability to some degree, but we have, yeah, way bigger obstacle in the fact that you've got very sharp drops on many corners and straights. It's very easy just to fly off, and obviously we only have 3 goes at the old rewind as well this time, just to make it that bit more treacherous. So yeah, this isn't the most powerful car that we've had on this series so far by any means. And again, I really wouldn't want much more power in this given how lightweight it is, and obviously it's got a really short wheelbase, and it's obviously quite narrow and tall as well. It's a good job we're not going to be doing any grip rolling on here, because I imagine it would fall over, especially since it's now nearly half an inch taller due to the off-road suspension. Whoa, big jump. Landed it pretty well though. Really interesting to see what even sillier vehicles like the Reliant Supervan and BMW i7 will do on here. I imagine we will fall over quite a fair bit. Hope I got that. Yes, I did. That's one corner that really catches me out. Nice drift around that corner. Yeah, I do hope that you like this course. I certainly do. I like it the way that it's a bit more technical, a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, there's only really one spectacular jump on it, and it is pretty much the same in terms of the environment of being a desert, although the surfaces do change a little bit at times, although not quite as dramatically as in the last game. Yeah, we weren't particularly overwhelmed for choice really with the way that, oh dear, we slid out. That was inevitable with the way that this car's set up. We weren't particularly stuck for choice on this game, to be honest. Not that I think this has any less in terms of off-road courses. I just think obviously they're not got them in mind when making the game. Just trying to make it as fun and as varied as possible, and obviously it's hard to do that if you just want it to be one kind of thing. So yeah, its lack of top speed really isn't harming it, which is a good sign that, yeah, top speed really isn't going to be the determining factor on this, like it kind of was in the last series. Obviously we have a fair bit of a straight here, but nowhere near as much as the last game. And there we go. So how did we do? Not, again, slower than the previous car that we've had on the series, at 3 minutes 37.718, which means we're just over 8 seconds slower than the Ford Bronco, to be honest, which I guess is no real surprise. It has a lot less power than the other two cars that we've had, the Ford Bronco and the Aston Martin Valhalla, and yeah, it's obviously nowhere near as modern as those two cars either, and yeah, at the end of the day, you know, 1,000 plus horsepower in an Aston Martin Valhalla is pretty much the same as it had originally, so it's not really dealing with much in the way of power, whereas this only had 27 horsepower originally and could only do 65 miles an hour. So yeah, I guess it's no real surprise that it's as slow as it is, but it's not as bad as I was expecting, to be honest, and it didn't fall over, it didn't crash, it didn't really do anything really outside of spin out once, and obviously that meant we only used the rewind button once, so yeah, still overall fairly impressed, and considering other small, lightweight, older cars like this have been really rather poor in their showings in previous, you know, Extreme Off-Road Silly Build episodes, I am at least surprised that it's as close as it is to the Ford Bronco. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it sits once we get more and more cars out here on this series. But regardless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.